Pregnancy can feel like stepping into uncharted territory, especially during those first crucial weeks when your body whispers changes you're not sure how to interpret. The uncertainty can be overwhelming. One day you're convinced everything is perfect. The next you're analyzing every sensation, wondering if it's normal. These 15 definitive signs reveal how your pregnancy is progressing beautifully, backed by science and real experiences from expectant mothers worldwide. Understanding these changes empowers you to navigate early pregnancy with confidence, bridging medical knowledge with emotional understanding, while honoring the profound complexity of carrying new life. This comprehensive guide shares not just what to expect, but why these changes happen, what they mean for your baby's development, and how to navigate them with confidence. Stay until the end for a powerful mindset shift that can transform your entire first trimester experience from anxiety-filled to empowered. Sign 1. You have minimal or no symptoms. This might completely surprise you. But having few or no pregnancy symptoms doesn't mean something's wrong. It can actually indicate a beautifully efficient pregnancy. I've worked with countless women who felt panicked when they reached 6, 7, or even 8 weeks without experiencing the dramatic symptoms they've been expecting. Consider this common scenario. A woman at 7 weeks pregnant feels completely normal. No nausea, no breast tenderness, no fatigue. She becomes convinced something is wrong because every pregnancy resource describes intense symptoms. Yet her blood work reveals perfectly rising HCG levels, and she continues with a healthy, uncomplicated pregnancy. The reality is that approximately 20 to 30% of women experience minimal first trimester symptoms. This happens because some women's bodies adapt to hormonal changes more smoothly. Their estrogen and progesterone levels rise steadily without causing the dramatic physical responses that create obvious symptoms. From a scientific perspective, your placenta might be developing efficiently. Your body might be producing optimal levels of pregnancy hormones without excess, and your digestive system might be adapting well to the slower metabolism that pregnancy requires. These are all positive indicators. However, if you're tracking symptoms and they suddenly disappear after being present, or if you have concerning feelings, trust your instincts and consult your healthcare provider. A simple blood test measuring HCG levels can provide reassurance about your pregnancy's progression. Sign 2. Breast sensitivity and changes. Your breasts are often your body's first announcement of pregnancy. These changes are fascinating from a developmental perspective. Rising progesterone levels cause your breast tissue to swell and become more sensitive as your body begins the months-long process of preparing for breastfeeding. These changes aren't just surface level. Deep within your breast tissue, milk ducts are beginning to branch and multiply. Your areolas may darken due to increased melanin production. This darkening actually serves a biological purpose, helping your future baby locate your breast for nursing. The small bumps around your areolas, called Montgomery's glands, may become more prominent as they prepare to produce oils that will protect your nipples during breastfeeding. The sensitivity you're feeling ranges from mild tenderness to feeling like you can't tolerate a hug or wearing certain fabrics. Some women describe it as feeling like their breasts are bruised, where others notice a constant fullness or heaviness. Size changes can be dramatic. Some women go from a B cup to a D cup during their first trimester alone. This growth happens because increased blood flow and hormonal stimulation cause breast tissue to expand rapidly. The veins in breasts may become more visible as blood flow increases to support this development. One important note: these changes should be consistent and progressive. While day-to-day fluctuations are normal, a sudden complete loss of breast symptoms after they've been established could warrant a check-in with your healthcare provider. Sign 3. Elevated basal body temperature. If you've been tracking your basal body temperature, you're witnessing one of the most reliable early pregnancy indicators. Your sustained elevated temperature tells a beautiful story of hormonal harmony supporting your pregnancy. Normally, your basal body temperature rises after ovulation due to progesterone, then drops when your period begins. During pregnancy, this temperature remains elevated, typically 0.5 to 1 degree Fahrenheit above your baseline, because progesterone continues to be produced to maintain your pregnancy. This temperature pattern isn't just a pregnancy sign. It's a window into your body's incredible adaptation. The elevated temperature creates an optimal environment for early embryonic development. It supports increased metabolic activity, enhanced blood flow to your uterus, and the complex cellular processes happening as your baby's major organs begin to form. For women who track their cycles, this sustained temperature elevation often provides the first concrete evidence of pregnancy, sometimes even before a positive pregnancy test. The consistency of this elevation over 18 or more days is particularly reassuring, indicating stable hormone production. Sign 4, profound fatigue. First trimester exhaustion transcends anything you've experienced before. This isn't just feeling tired after a long day. It's a bone-deep exhaustion that can make you feel like you're moving through molasses. Many women find themselves falling asleep at their desk, needing 10 to 12 hours of sleep nightly, or feeling completely drained by mid-afternoon. This overwhelming fatigue serves a crucial biological purpose. Your body is performing extraordinary work during these early weeks. You're building a placenta from scratch, a complex organ that will sustain your baby for months. Your blood volume is increasing by up to 50% over the course of pregnancy, starting in these early weeks. Your heart is working harder to pump this increased blood volume. Your kidneys are filtering more blood. Every organ system is adapting to support 2 lives instead of 1. Simultaneously, your baby is undergoing the most critical developmental phase of their entire life. Between weeks 3 to 8, all major organ systems are forming. Your baby's heart begins beating. Their neural tube closes to form the brain and spinal cord. Limb buds appear, and facial features start developing. This process requires enormous energy from your body. The fatigue is also influenced by rising progesterone levels, which have a natural sedative effect. Progesterone doesn't just maintain your pregnancy. It also slows your metabolism and promotes rest, encouraging your body to conserve energy for the incredible developmental work happening. Don't fight this exhaustion. Your body is literally creating another human being, complete with their own circulatory system, nervous system, and organs. Rest when you need to, adjust your expectations, and remember that this intense fatigue typically improves significantly by weeks 12 to 14 as your body adapts to its new normal. Sign 5, increased urination frequency. Even before your baby grows large enough to press on your bladder, you'll likely notice frequent bathroom trips becoming your new reality. This early change happens for several fascinating physiological reasons that demonstrate your body's remarkable adaptation. Your uterus begins growing immediately after conception, even when your baby is still microscopic. This growing uterus sits directly on top of your bladder, creating pressure even in these early weeks. Additionally, your body starts producing more blood during pregnancy, up to 50% more by the end. And this increased blood volume means your kidneys are working overtime to filter and process more fluid. The hormone HCG, which pregnancy tests detect, also increases kidney function and can contribute to more frequent urination. Your body is also preparing for the increased waste elimination that will be necessary as your baby develops and begins producing their own waste products. Many women notice this symptom as early as 6 to 8 weeks, often before they've had their first prenatal appointment. The frequency can be startling. You might find yourself getting up multiple times during the night or planning activities around bathroom availability. This symptom continues throughout pregnancy, but for different reasons as your baby grows. In the first trimester, it's primarily due to hormonal changes and early uterine growth. Later, it's more directly related to your baby's size and position. Sign 6, heightened sense of smell. The dramatic increase in smell sensitivity during early pregnancy is one of the most universally reported symptoms, and it serves a fascinating evolutionary purpose. Rising estrogen levels amplify your olfactory receptors, making you extraordinarily sensitive to scents that others might barely notice. This heightened sensitivity likely evolved as a protective mechanism. Pregnant women throughout history needed to avoid spoiled foods, harmful plants, and dangerous environments. Your newly sensitive nose can detect potential threats that your pre-pregnancy senses might have missed. The intensity of this change can be overwhelming. Women often detect cooking smells from several rooms away, find their partner's cologne suddenly repulsive, or become nauseated by cleaning products they previously tolerated. Some describe being able to smell things that others in their household can't detect at all. This sensitivity often connects directly to food aversions and morning sickness. Your body may be instinctively steering you away from foods or environments that could potentially harm your developing baby. Strong aversions to alcohol, coffee, or certain meats are particularly common and may represent your body's wisdom in avoiding substances that could affect fetal development. The smell sensitivity typically peaks during the first trimester and gradually improves as your pregnancy progresses, though some women remain more sensitive to certain scents throughout their pregnancy. Sign 7. Visible skin changes. Pregnancy hormones create a cascade of skin changes that reflect the profound internal transformations happening in your body. These changes are some of the most visible signs of your pregnancy's progression and serve important biological purposes. Your areola's darkening is one of the most noticeable changes. This darkening occurs due to increased melanin production triggered by pregnancy hormones. From an evolutionary perspective, this darkening helps your future baby locate your breast for nursing. Newborns can see contrast better than detailed colors, making darker areolas more visible. The famous pregnancy glow that many women develop results from increased blood flow to your skin and enhanced oil production. Your blood volume increases during pregnancy, bringing more oxygen and nutrients to your skin cells. This increased circulation creates a natural radiance that many people notice even before you announce your pregnancy. Some women experience the opposite effect, increased breakouts or skin sensitivity. This happens because the same hormones that create the glow can also stimulate oil production beyond what your skin is accustomed to managing. Both responses are normal and reflect your body's hormonal adaptation. You might also notice increased pigmentation in other areas, a dark line down your abdomen called the linea nigra, or darker patches on your face called melasma. These changes are caused by increased melanin production and typically fade after pregnancy. Other skin changes include increased sensitivity to sun exposure, changes in hair texture or growth patterns, and variations in how your skin responds to products you've used for years. Sign 8. Morning sickness. Despite its misleading name, pregnancy nausea can strike at any time of day and represents one of the most complex aspects of early pregnancy. This uncomfortable but generally positive symptom results from rapidly rising HCG levels and a hormone called GDF-15, which researchers have recently identified as a major contributor to pregnancy nausea. The nausea serves multiple biological purposes. It often peaks during the most critical period of fetal organ development, weeks 6 to 12, potentially protecting your baby during this vulnerable time by discouraging consumption of foods that might contain harmful bacteria or toxins. The foods that commonly trigger nausea, strong-smelling meats, fish, eggs, and certain vegetables, are those most likely to contain pathogens that could harm a developing baby. The intensity and duration of morning sickness vary dramatically. Some women experience mild queasiness for a few weeks, while others face severe nausea that interferes with daily activities. Approximately 80% of pregnant women experience some degree of nausea, though the remaining 20% with healthy pregnancies may never feel nauseated at all. Research shows that women with moderate morning sickness may have lower rates of miscarriage, possibly because the nausea indicates robust hormone production. However, the absence of nausea doesn't indicate any problems. It simply means your body is processing pregnancy hormones differently. For severe cases, hyperemesis gravidarum affects about 1 to 2% of pregnant women and requires medical attention. This condition involves persistent vomiting that can lead to dehydration and weight loss. The nausea typically peaks around weeks 8 to 10 and gradually improves by weeks 12 to 16, though some women experience it longer. Understanding that this discomfort serves a protective purpose can help you endure the challenging days. Sign 9. Mild cramping. Light cramping during early pregnancy is one of the most anxiety-provoking symptoms because it can feel similar to menstrual cramps. However, mild cramping is typically a positive sign of your uterus adapting to pregnancy and beginning its remarkable expansion journey. Your uterus is a muscle, and like anything else, it's stretching and growing. It can create discomfort. During early pregnancy, your uterus begins growing immediately to accommodate your developing baby. This growth requires the muscle fibers to stretch and lengthen, which can create sensations ranging from mild pulling to light cramping. The cramping you're experiencing is also related to increased blood flow to your uterus. Your body is rapidly developing a rich network of blood vessels to support your growing baby, and this increased circulation can create sensations of fullness or mild discomfort. Implantation can also cause brief cramping around the time your period would normally arrive. When your fertilized embryo attaches to your uterine wall, this process can create light cramping that some women mistake for the beginning of their period. The key distinction is that pregnancy cramping is typically mild, intermittent, and doesn't progressively worsen. It might come and go throughout the day and often responds to rest, hydration, or gentle movement. The cramping should never be severe enough to interfere with your daily activities or be accompanied by heavy bleeding. However, severe cramping, especially if accompanied by bleeding, requires immediate medical attention, as it could indicate complications like ectopic pregnancy or threatened miscarriage. Sign 10. Lower back discomfort. Lower back pain during early pregnancy reflects your body's incredible ability to adapt to the physical changes ahead. Even though your baby is still tiny, your body is already beginning the postural and structural adjustments that will continue throughout your pregnancy. Your growing uterus, even in these early weeks, begins to shift your center of gravity. Your body starts producing a hormone called relaxin, which softens ligaments and joints in preparation for eventual childbirth. This hormonal softening can create instability in your lower back and pelvis, leading to discomfort. The increased blood flow to your pelvic area can also contribute to feelings of heaviness or achiness in your lower back. Your body is developing the enhanced circulation needed to support your growing baby, and this increased blood volume can create new sensations. Additionally, many women unconsciously adjust their posture during early pregnancy, either due to breast tenderness or in response to the subtle physical changes they're experiencing. These postural adjustments can create muscle tension and discomfort in your lower back. The discomfort is typically mild to moderate and often responds well to gentle stretching, warm baths, proper posture awareness, and prenatal massage. Prenatal yoga, or gentle exercises specifically designed for pregnancy, can help strengthen your back muscles and improve flexibility. Sign 11. Emotional fluctuations. The emotional roller coaster of early pregnancy is perhaps one of the most underestimated aspects of this experience. Your emotional responses aren't just hormonal, they're the result of complex neurochemical changes that affect how your brain processes emotions, stress, and daily experiences. During early pregnancy, your brain experiences significant changes in neurotransmitter production. Estrogen and progesterone directly influence serotonin, dopamine, and GABA production, chemicals that regulate mood, anxiety, and emotional stability. These fluctuations can create intense emotional responses that feel completely unlike your normal self. You might find yourself crying at commercials that never affected you before, feeling overwhelmed by decisions that would normally seem simple, or experiencing anxiety about things you've never worried about. One moment, you might feel euphoric about your pregnancy, and the next moment, you might feel terrified about the changes ahead. This emotional intensity serves important psychological purposes. Your brain is beginning the complex process of identity shift that accompanies becoming a parent. The emotional sensitivity might also serve protective functions, making you more attuned to potential stressors or threats in your environment. The guilt that many women feel about these emotional fluctuations is completely unnecessary. Your brain is literally restructuring itself to prepare for parenthood. Research shows that pregnancy creates lasting changes in brain structure, particularly in areas related to empathy, anxiety processing, and social attachment. These emotional changes typically stabilize as your pregnancy progresses, and your hormone levels reach a new equilibrium. Understanding that these feelings are a normal part of the profound transformation you're experiencing and help you navigate them with more self-compassion. Sign 12. Food aversions and cravings. The dramatic changes in food preferences during early pregnancy represent one of your body's most sophisticated protective mechanisms. The same hormones that heighten your sense of smell also transform your taste preferences, often in ways that serve important biological functions. Food aversions typically develop before cravings and often focus on foods that could potentially harm your developing baby. Strong aversions to alcohol, coffee, raw meats, fish, eggs, and certain vegetables are incredibly common and may represent your body's instinctive wisdom in avoiding substances that could affect fetal development. The aversions can be so intense that even thinking about certain foods triggers nausea. This response is mediated by the same hormonal changes that create morning sickness and heightened smell sensitivity. Your body is essentially creating a biological alarm system that steers you away from potentially problematic foods during the most critical period of fetal development. Cravings often develop later and may represent your body's attempt to obtain specific nutrients needed for pregnancy. While craving ice cream doesn't necessarily mean you need calcium, many women find themselves drawn to foods that provide nutrients their bodies are prioritizing for fetal development. The intensity of these preferences can be startling. You might find yourself unable to prepare foods you've always enjoyed, or desperately wanting foods you've never particularly liked. These changes reflect the profound ways pregnancy hormones are influencing your sensory experiences and dietary choices. Most food aversions and cravings peak during the first trimester and gradually normalize as your pregnancy progresses, though some preferences may persist throughout pregnancy or even permanently change your relationship with certain foods. Increased vaginal discharge during early pregnancy, known medically as leukorrhea, represents your body's enhanced protective mechanisms working to safeguard your developing baby. This change reflects the increased blood flow and hormonal activity in your pelvic area. The discharge is typically thin, milky, and odorless, caused by increased estrogen levels that stimulate your cervical glands to produce more mucus. This increased production serves several important functions. It helps prevent infections from reaching your uterus, creates a protective barrier for your developing baby, and prepares your body for the changes ahead. The amount can vary significantly between women and even day to day for the same woman. Some women notice only a slight increase, while others experience a substantial change that requires more frequent underwear changes or the use of panty liners. The discharge should remain relatively odorless and shouldn't cause itching or irritation. Changes in color, smell, or texture, or the development of itching or burning could indicate an infection that requires medical attention. This increased discharge typically continues throughout pregnancy, though the amount and consistency may change as your pregnancy progresses. Understanding that this change is a normal protective response can help you feel more comfortable with your body's adaptations. Sign 14. Digestive changes. The digestive changes you're experiencing during early pregnancy reflect your body's remarkable adaptation to supporting two lives instead of one. Rising progesterone levels affect smooth muscle throughout your body, including your entire digestive system, creating a range of symptoms that can feel uncomfortable but serve important purposes. Progesterone slows down your digestive processes, allowing your body to extract more nutrients from the food you eat. This slower digestion means your baby receives maximum nutritional benefit from your meals. But it can also create bloating, constipation, and feelings of fullness that persist longer than usual. The bloating you're experiencing isn't just cosmetic. It reflects real changes in how your digestive system is functioning. Your stomach empties more slowly. Food moves through your small intestine at a more leisurely pace, and your colon absorbs more water from waste products. These changes can create persistent feelings of fullness and abdominal distension. Constipation affects up to 40% of pregnant women and results from the combination of slower digestive processes and increased water absorption in your colon. Iron supplements, if you're taking them, can worsen this symptom. The constipation can contribute to feelings of abdominal discomfort and bloating. Some women experience heartburn or acid reflux as their digestive system slows down and their growing uterus begins to put pressure on their stomach. Others notice changes in their appetite or find that foods they normally enjoy sit heavily in their stomach. Managing these digestive changes involves staying well hydrated, eating smaller, more frequent meals, including fiber-rich foods in your diet, and engaging in gentle physical activity. Understanding that these changes serve important purposes can help you navigate them with more patience. Sign 15. Vivid dreams. The incredibly vivid, often bizarre dreams that many women experience during early pregnancy reflect the complex neurological changes happening in your brain. These dreams are so common and distinctive that many women report them as one of their first pregnancy symptoms. During pregnancy, your brain experiences significant changes in neurotransmitter production and sleep architecture. The hormonal fluctuations affect your REM sleep patterns, often making your dreams more intense, memorable, and emotionally charged. You might find yourself remembering dreams in detail when you typically don't remember dreaming at all. The content of pregnancy dreams often reflects the psychological processing you're doing around becoming a parent. Dreams about babies, children, your own childhood, or major life changes are common as your subconscious mind works through the identity shifts and emotional adjustments of pregnancy. Some women report dreams that feel prophetic or meaningful, while others describe dreams that are simply more vivid or strange than usual. The emotional intensity of these dreams can be startling. You might wake up feeling deeply affected by dream experiences that seem unusually real. These dream changes serve important psychological functions. They may help your brain process the emotional complexity of pregnancy, work through anxieties about parenthood, or simply reflect the increased brain activity and hormonal changes of early pregnancy. The vivid dreams typically continue throughout pregnancy, though their intensity and content may change as your pregnancy progresses and your psychological adaptation to parenthood evolves. Every pregnancy is as unique as the woman experiencing it. You might recognize yourself in all of these signs, or you might experience only a few. Some women have textbook pregnancies with predictable symptoms, while others have experiences that don't match any book or video they've encountered. The key is understanding that this variability is not only normal, but expected. Your body's response to pregnancy reflects your individual physiology, genetics, stress levels, nutritional status, and countless other factors that make your experience uniquely yours. What matters most is not whether you're experiencing specific symptoms, but rather how you're feeling overall, and whether you're maintaining open communication with your healthcare provider. Trust your instincts. If something feels concerning to you, it's worth discussing with your medical team. Remember that these symptoms typically peak during the first trimester and gradually improve as your body adapts to its new hormonal environment. The discomfort you're experiencing now is temporary, but it's also meaningful. Each symptom represents your body's incredible ability to create and nurture new life. The most important thing you can do right now is approach this experience with curiosity and self-compassion. Your body is performing one of the most remarkable feats in nature, and every uncomfortable moment is part of the extraordinary process of creating your baby. If you found this comprehensive guide helpful, please subscribe to our channel for more evidence-based pregnancy support and share your own first trimester experiences in the comments below. Your story might provide the comfort and reassurance that another expectant mother desperately needs right now.